Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 PSN review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at PixelJunk SideScroller, which if you've never played it before, it's basically a side-scrolling shmup, hence the name, and it's based around the PixelJunk shooter universe. At the start you've got start game, leaderboards, options and how to play it. The options, you can change a couple things but not much. How to play it is pretty much the usual of how to play it. Tells you the rules, controls, weapons, items, etc. You can't customize your controls, which is a little awkward if I'm honest, because I don't really like having R1 to fire on any game, but at least I suppose it's not an FPS, which is when it really does annoy me, the likes of the Medal of Honor games where you're forced to have R1. You can play the game 2-player if you want to, but for now I'm just going to stick to 1-player and I'm going to stick to the normal difficulty. It's, as you can see on the screen here, there's 3 stages, but each stage is actually technically a world, and then inside the stages you've got 4 levels, and the 4th level of each one is a boss level. And while I'm mentioning that, on all the levels except the boss levels you can find crowns to collect for, well, the completionist to get really good scores and that. It's just like the jewels on the other PixelJunk shooter game. And there's 27 overall, because as I say, they're not on the boss levels, so 3 times 9 is 27. You've got 3 standard weapons that you start with, and you can collect power-ups, which you've just seen us get one there. Each weapon can be powered up 5 times, so you've got your laser, you've got your bombs, and then you've got your machine gun. So it's up to you how you want to do it, but personally I like upgrading my machine gun fully first and then upgrading the other ones, just because I tend to use the fully upgraded machine gun a lot, mainly because it fires in pretty much all directions, so it's incredibly useful. You can also get extra lives, being a standard shmup format really, and you can also get yourself some shields to help yourself from dying. It's very similar to PixelJunk Shooter in a lot of ways, because if you get shot you don't die, you heat up and then you die. So if you can find some water, then you can actually stop yourself from dying, which is obviously not really side-scrolling shmup-esque, but it's very PixelJunk Shooter-esque. So this is the max level machine gun, and as you've probably already noticed, I'm flying around every now and then collecting some coins and that, and they're just there for score really. There's not really much I could say about it. It's your standard, I suppose, side-scrolling shmup. You go from left to right, you get to the end, and you beat the boss on the boss world, and you go on to the next world, and you do it all again. It's a really good game. I've been waiting for it for a long time. It's unfortunately a little hard to stare at the screen for so long the way the graphics are, and it's not that they're bad, it's just the neon. I personally find my eyes start to really hurt after about half an hour's play, and then I have to switch off and play some more the next day, or just after a couple hours break. So that was a bit of the music. I know I forgot to mention it, but the music in the game is really good, and you've also just saw us, to be fair, getting one of the crowns and making a huge mistake there and collecting a power-up for a weapon that I already had fully leveled up. On the plus side, at least, I can show you the fully leveled up laser here, and I can show you the kind of, well, I suppose this would probably be a sub-boss section, because I've stopped still and there's a load of enemies to kill, and I have to kill them to proceed, so you might class that as a sub-boss. I probably would. There's not really much else that I can say about the game though. When you complete a sector and move on to the next one, you lose all your power-ups. I should probably mention that. And you've probably noticed that I've mentioned a lot of things to do with score, but I haven't mentioned probably the most integral one, and that's that you can get chains. So by killing enemies, a combo meter starts at the top and it counts down. So to keep the combo meter open, keep adding to it, you have to kill enemies at some brisk pace. It's a case of, I think you get about 10 seconds between kills before it disappears. It's just done it there. To be fair, I was on about 70 and now I'm down to 6. Well, that really is everything. I suppose I'll reiterate then, if you like shmups, this is an excellent game. If you like the PixelJunk games, you definitely go and want to try it, because I think it's one of the best that they've done. I don't think it's as good as the original PixelJunk shooter, but I still think this is really good, and it's got some promise to do another game in this vein. To be fair, I can mention checkpoints because I forgot to. I've just shown one off though. That's what prompted me to do it, because you do have lives, as I say it, and when you die you just go back to the checkpoint. You don't go back to the start of the level, thankfully. So there we go then. That's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel, because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.